Hello, welcome to PUC Classroom. Today we are going to look at count and non-count nouns. I'm going to explain the rules, show some examples, and give you a couple of exercises, okay? So let's talk about count nouns first. Count nouns are individual people, animals, places, things, or ideas which can be counted. Anything that can be counted, whether singular, a dog, a house, a friend, etc., or plural, books, cars, oranges, etc., is a count noun. Now, here are some examples. A, there are at least 50 Chinese restaurants in Vancouver's Chinatown. B, your book is on the kitchen table. C, there are paintings in every room in the house. D, there's a big black bear running around the park. Okay? Now, let's talk about non-count nouns. Non-count nouns are not individual objects, so they cannot be counted. Even though non-count nouns are not individual objects, they are always singular, and one must always use singular verbs in conjunction with non-count nouns. And here are some examples of non-count nouns. A, there is no more water in the refrigerator. B, I need to find some information about the contest winners. C, the teacher seems to have a high level of intelligence. And D, I'm going to take out the garbage. Okay, now let's talk about quantifiers that we use for count and non-count nouns. Quantifiers are used to indicate the quantity of count and non-count nouns. Use count nouns with quantifiers such as a few or a couple of for small amounts and many for large amounts. Use non-count nouns with quantifiers including not much or a little for small amounts and much for large amounts. Now, use count and non-count nouns with quantifiers such as not any to express none, and some for a small amount, and lots of or a lot of for a large amount. Okay? Use not any with both count and non-count nouns to express none. Any, much, and many are usually used in negatives and questions. Here are some examples. A, there were only a couple of cars in the parking lot tonight, but there were many cars there last Friday. B, there was only a little bit of food left after the party because the guests ate so much food. C, I saw a lot of birds making lots of noise on the beach yesterday. And D, there is not any money left in the company's bank account, and there are not any employees working there anymore. Okay, let's do our first exercise. Decide if the underlying nouns in each sentence are count or non-count. Number 1, the children fell asleep after a busy day playing soccer. 2, the water in that lake is very deep. 3, there were fire trucks and police cars outside the nightclub. 4, tourists in Cambodia like drinking large bottles of water. 5, my mother uses real butter in the cookies she bakes. 6, how many politicians were at the press conference? Number 7, most kids like drinking milk. 8, the pottery being sold to tourists is made of clay. And 9, Panette can play several different musical instruments. And the last one, number 10. When I was watching TV last night, I ate an entire box of cookies. Okay, let's do one more exercise. Circle the correct quantifiers. Number 1, do you drink a few, a lot of, a couple of alcohol? Number 2, how many, much, little states in the US have you visited? Number 3, did you eat much, a few, a lot pizza last night? And the last one, number 4, do you eat much, little, few cheese? Okay, that's all for today's lesson. I hope you all learned something valuable. I'll see you again on PUC Classroom.